Welcome you guys to the Savage Council podcast, where today we have with us for the first time, LINDS.
Hey.
Welcome.
What's up? Thank you.
Yes, and we have Real Mix by Aaron and Jeremiah Dog.
Yo.
Is it Real Mix by Aaron?
Yeah, that's my
Okay,
tag.
dude, you need to fucking tell me, because you said I can't
All right,
call
bro,
you Aaron.
Just call me. You can call me Aaron, or you can call me Mixed by Aaron, dude. I only have real
I'm gonna call
because
him
there's an actual guy named Mixed by Aaron.
Okay.
But once I get some more fans, I'm gonna tell everyone to report this man. They're taking his account.
You're like, I have the copyright.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, welcome to the Savage Council podcast. We're joined here today with LINDS,
Hey.
Aaron, and Jeremiah Dog.
Yes,
How
sir.
you guys doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well, thank you.
Doing
Thank you
good,
for coming
doing
in.
Yeah.
I know you got a pretty hectic schedule. Yeah, there you go. Say no more,
fun.
my friend.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's weird being in a room with all of you guys because I haven't even met these guys yet.
But you said you knew them.
We
or
knew
of them.
each other. I don't know. Remember the timeline of like when we first like linked on Instagram or Facebook?
Right.
But I know it was through the internet ways we were linked up.
Crazy.
So yeah, social
Crazy
media.
young kids. You young kids doing it all different nowadays. Rebels. And so today, thought we would talk about overcoming performance anxiety.
Wow, that's right up my alley.
Is it?
Kinda.
How so?
Well, I like struggle with anxiety, and I actually
Okay.
have like panic disorder and like suffer with depression. Like a lot of people kind of suffered with depression. I think just people don't have the willingness to like talk about it. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I struggle with anxiety like all the time, just on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like doing music and like performing is actually a way that like I get really excited to perform, because it's like it's a way for me to express myself and kind of like let go of anxiety. It's weird. Like after I do like a show or a performance, I feel like cleansed in a way.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
LINDS, when you say that you have performance anxiety, and this is right up your alley, like, could you elaborate? Because I know you are a local artist, okay? And then Jeremiah Dog can speak on this too, because we just started the podcast a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And before
Really?
that, yeah, we're in our infancy. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Me too.
if you haven't already, subscribe to the Savage Council, and then we're joined by our audio wizard, Aaron, of course.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. But like when you say that you have performance anxiety, can you tell us like exactly what it is that you do? Like, how do you feel before you do it, and how do you feel after?
Okay, so like specifically talking about like shows, like I feel like I'm better now about like meeting people and just kind of like being myself. Like it took me a while to kind of like own who I was.
Okay.
Which like I eventually became comfortable with that, so I was like, easy to present myself to people, yada yada. But when it comes to like shows and performances, going into it, I feel a sense of anxiety. I get really anxious to perform because it's like after I perform, I feel like, I feel almost cleansed from like my, my panic and my anxiousness and my depression and all of that good stuff. But prior to doing a show, I feel kind of nervous. Like my heart, beats, does the thing. I get anxiety. But what I kind of do, I have like one thought in mind that I kind of go about when I'm, feeling this anxiety to perform, is I think of me already in it. I'm already doing it. You know what I mean? Like I picture myself already in the middle of singing a song, and I feel better about it. So I kind of have to just like put myself in that place prior to being there.
So you actually visualize your performance and see yourself like actually performing the performance and coming out the other end okay.
Yeah. I feel like it
Nice.
kind of soothes my mind a little bit because I remember being I get really happy when I'm performing. Like,
Yeah.
it feels so good to me to perform.
Nice.
So like prior to performing, I'm like, I just have to think about that place. You know what I mean? So I'm not really nervous going into it. And of course, like when I start my first song, I'm kind of like, okay, like, if I'm in a place that I'm not familiar with, especially if it's like a new venue, I'm like, trying to feel it out.
Feel it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of picture myself already doing it. And then, after the fact, I always feel really good and cleansed from performing. So
Yeah, and that's such an art that like everybody in every single different genre, like even athletes do it, even like weightlifters do it. I don't know, do DJs do it?
Yeah, you
Like,
can feel it. You can feel the energy, man. Yeah,
Mhm.
really feel the energy
Energy.
and then see where it's going.
Okay.
You know? And you can like the more you do, you just learn how to read. You know, I think that goes the same way with you guys. You know, like where like how you guys do your shows and you guys do your set lists and stuff. I feel like it probably goes the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like Jeremiah, dog, like I know we just started this, bro.
Right.
But like I know our first few was like really, I wouldn't say rocky, but like I think we were feeling each other out too. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that sounded so gay. For the record, I never touched this guy. Okay, But like, yeah, could you apply that to like, say, podcasting or being on YouTube or being on Instagram or anything like that? What's your take on it, bro?
I think, as we started the first actually before we even had the first podcast, when we first had the conversation, I think we definitely had a lot of ideas brought to the table, a lot of different topics, a lot of different strategies on how we should perform on our podcast, regarding equipment setup, regarding visuals and whatnot. And then I think once we did the first one and we just ran with it, like I think that one was the beginning of a greater thing to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we definitely came a long way. That's how I see it so far.
Oh yeah, we're the greatest show in Visalia, bro.
Exactly.
Welcome
Central
to the
Valley.
greatest MFN show in Central Valley.
559.
Yeah, 559 all day long, every day, all day. Savage Council. So like, yeah. So
Hashtag.
yeah, right. Hashtag say. Yeah, there you go.
Hashtag
Say what?
Say what?
Get
Say
that
what?
say on iTunes.
Yeah. So we're just being goofy up in here. So yeah. But walk us through that, because I know you've been a performing artist like your whole life. Like you've been involved in dance, in choir.
Hey, you listen.
And this isn't something that you just decided one day, hey, I'm going to try music. Like this has been in your blood, in your like every cell
Sounds
of your
really
life
intense.
from the beginning.
Yeah. I don't know, like, as I said to you before, I was young and I mean, I've always like, sang around the house as a kid, and I always did like the thing and like liked piano, and liked music and I liked to sing or whatever. And growing up, my parents kind of threw me into private piano lessons and like private dance lessons, and I like started to really love that. And the big reason why I actually got into music and doing dance is because my older sister, Ashley, she was heavily in dance. She was my older sister. I looked up to her and I was like, I want to do what she's doing,
Definitely.
And so I kind of jumped into it at an early age, and I'm really blessed for that. I miss dance a lot. Dance was like my first love. I thought that was going to be the thing for me, But then I really got into, I was doing hip hop dance, and I did like a couple competition stuff with hip hop, and like was starting to like learn breakdancing and stuff like that. And I got really drawn to hip hop music, like, some Chris Brown, some like, the early 2000s, 90s, hip hop music, whatever. And I was like, dude, it would be so cool to like make this, I was like, I think that I can make this. I like, I've always listened to certain artists, like their runs and their ranges, and like I would always try to sing along or like harmonize with them. And even before I like knew what harmony was, I was like doing it, So I got really involved in like choir in school, and I jumped into private voice lessons when I moved here when I was like 13.
Okay.
And I wrote my first song when I was like 13 or 14.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was wild. But my
Hashtag
say. No, it wasn't that song. But
it's okay.
it was no, it was a song for my first friend that I made in Visalia. Her mom passed away actually shortly after. Like we were friends for a while, and it was really hard on her. It was really hard on me. I was young, and I was like, shoot, like my friend that's young also just lost her mom.
Wow.
So I decided to write a song about it, and it was the first song that I like actually got through and made. And I like showed her dad it, and they had me sing it at the funeral, and it was like I was so nervous for that too, because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is an honor to do this. I'm like 14, you know, and I was like, I'm gonna mess up, and actually like halfway through the song, I was just playing guitar and I just started crying, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't make it through, and I just like kept playing my guitar, and I was just really sad about it, but it was a cool experience, because then I was like, man, like I wrote this song, and from a place that it was a hurtful place. I feel like most of my music comes from like a really painful place. And a lot of the times I don't know what to say, like just in general to people. So like through music is like that's another reason why my album's called Say, is because I'm able to like, you know, break down and say what I need to say through songwriting, you know. But it's taken me a while. It's taken me a while to be here, but I've always wanted to do it. And I'm in the infantry stage as well with my career and trying to launch that. But, you know, it's just a matter of time.
Well, I wouldn't even say that you're in the infancy stages, because, like, you know, just like any other great artist that just like blows up all of a sudden, because you get a lot of buzz about like what you do. You know, I can relate that to like Eminem. Like, he was working on his craft for like ever. And then he just got that spot in the spotlight, and then he got like the mixtape over to Dre, and then like, you know, or 50 or whoever. Like, is that right, bro? What's the history behind that? Or,
Yeah,
from a
right.
producer. Yeah. So I mean, you know, you prepare your whole life for this moment to shine, and then it just takes off for you. First of all, I want to say thank you to your sister Ashley, because I mean, we probably wouldn't be sitting here with LINDS. First of all, doing this podcast and, you know, supporting her tours and everything, which we'll get to later. But what I got out of it was like, you developed a real passion from really young, where you try to dissect it, even though you didn't even know the runs, the melodies. You didn't, you know, you're like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Yeah, you didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
But like, you knew like that was a connection. And then for you to use the song and the melody and the writing for therapy, like, wow.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a long process. Like, sometimes I'll sit down and write a song and it'll just like literally just come out, and I'll just like, it'll just be like, bleh, you know, like I'll just write a whole verse or a hook or whatever, and I'm like, okay, that's the song, cool, and I'll just kind of write around that. But like, there are a couple songs that I like truly cherish, that like, one I haven't dropped yet, but I have been performing it. I have a song called Tail.
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 Hey,
I have a song called
say
Tail.
what? Hashtag what? Hashtag say?
It's not on Say. I mean, I haven't dropped yet or whatever, but that song specifically is very special to me, and it took me about a year to write it, like on and off, because I was going through something and I wrote the first verse or whatever, and then I had to take time to kind of like come out of that, and then it was weird. It was like, you know, certain time I had to like do patchwork with it, because I was like still going through stuff. So like, through that process, I like wrote the song.
So you were healing through the pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, you were just doing the patchwork, like you said, patchwork, but like, you were actually like metamorphing. So you were like in the cocoon, and then like, out of this horrible experience, you like blossomed into a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I like butterflies.
Like a chrysalis, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love butterflies too. Dude, is there anybody here that doesn't?
He's like, I hate butterflies.
So if you don't like butterflies, you're out of the Savage Council.
No, but yeah, the song's really special to me. It took me a while to write it, and I knew that I wanted it to be a good song, so I was like, I took a lot of extra time doing it.
So that song is called Tell.
Tail.
Right?
Tail. Like a dog tail.
Let me tell you a tale.
No, like a dog tail.
Okay.
Like wagging a tail.
Like a tail.
a dog
Like
wagging
wag
a
the tail.
Because, you know, a tail is something that's always behind you, but it like never leaves.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
It's like attached to you,
Okay.
you know.
And that hasn't dropped yet? That hasn't.
No.
Wow. So as an artist, do you like telling what your tale, Tail or Tale is about?
Yes.
Like, do you are actually the first person that I've met that says, "Hey, I want to tell you the backstory of this." Is there a particular reason why you do that?
Yes. Probably
And no?
subconsciously, yes. I feel like a lot of my life growing up and like, you know, diving into music and just like figuring out who I am as a person, like everyone goes through, you know, being young and growing up, and like, now I'm an adult. I'm like, what's happening here? You know, what is this? You know, I feel like a lot of that time figuring out myself, a lot of people misunderstood me. Like I was misunderstood a lot. Like, middle school was like the worst of my life. Like, everybody hated me, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I felt, at least, you know. People may not think of it now because it's a long time ago, but growing up, I remember like feeling super uncomfortable because people would misunderstand me, or like I would say something that would offend someone, and I'm like, dude, I don't mean that. You know what I mean? That's not me. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, you know? And then I would find myself in these situations that I would get caught up in, and people would misunderstand me from it. So it's like, I feel like music gives me that opportunity and that chance to kind of like present to people like, look, dude, like, this is who I am really. You know what I mean? Like, none of that stuff matters. That's not a reflection of my character. Like, this is what I am, you know?
Yeah, so circling back to where you said like you came out to the Central Valley at 13 and a half years old, that would approximately put you in middle school. Like, so you said that you have depression, or you have had struggle through depression, anxiety and stuff. Is that like being the new kid syndrome?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that had a lot to do with it. Like, of course I had, you know, anxiety moving here. I didn't know anybody. I was like young. I was like, you know, in 8th grade, I think, when I came here. And that was really scary. But I feel like growing up, you know, I've always had anxiety, but it changes. Like, it changes how you have anxiety. Like, your depression changes, obviously, because you're going through all these things and years go by and you have different things that you're reflecting on, you know. But I don't know. I feel like it's something that it doesn't have like control of me, but I know that it's like present. You know what I mean? I have to kind of like learn how to like deal with it and cope with it.
Yes.
You know, I think that's just a big part of like being a human.
Yes.
So.
Coping with it. It's so I would attribute it to like situational anxiety or situational depression. And then when you learn the skills to overcome that, like, it starts to get easier. And then like when you said that like earlier, where you were like, oh, well, I just visualize my show. I visualize where I'm at, and then I see the outcome being far greater than what I'm struggling over with at the time.
Right.
And you're like, okay, like, this isn't going to kill me. I'm going to get through it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So when did you start developing that skill?
I've never been asked that question before. That's a good one. Honestly, it probably wasn't too long ago. Like, it probably was like maybe like, honestly, like 3 years ago. Like, I was like 20, 21 when I started realizing I was like, okay, like, I kind of have to get a grip on like how I'm feeling in order to get my shit done, you know? So through that, like, of course I had a lot of trial and error, just like doing music and you know, everything that came with that. But I'm really thankful that I had to go through all of it, because like I wouldn't know what I know now, you know? I don't know. I value my pain a lot. I value like what I went through.
So embrace the suffering. That puts you at like about 21 when you had to like really figure out like how to intermingle in this new kind of like environment that
Probably,
you're in.
yeah. I mean, it had to do with, you know, a lot with like being in a relationship, you know, that I was like taking seriously at like a young age, and then trying to like become a young woman through, you know, being in a relationship, which I don't recommend to anybody. If you're a young girl out there, just be single for a long time, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, I think I was like 18, 19, 20 when I was like in a relationship and like trying to like find my identity in this person, you know. And then I was like, wait, that's not me, you know, I'm gonna do my own thing. So it took me a while to learn it, but if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have the songs that I have on my album now. So
so your songs are so heartfelt and reflective. It's almost like an autobiography, like a soundtrack of your life.
I would kind of like it to be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know?
So where can we expect it to go? What are you doing now? Like, what is the future, Lens? I mean, yeah, we don't have a crystal ball or an 8-ball or whatever, like one of those 80s kind of, like, you know, that we can mess with.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, phenomenal. Like, you do instruments, you do vocals, you're a singer-songwriter. You know, you're doing shows, you're doing high school tours. Like, you've opened for some pretty big people, and you have had some pretty big people like open for you. So what is the future of Lens?
Well, just a matter of time, I guess. You know, I don't really. Me and Rodney were talking about this. I was like, dude, like a lot of people
Shout
that we
out to
try
Rodney.
to shout out Rodney. Hey.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that we, you know, have found ourselves both have found ourselves working
somewhere.
with, right, somewhere over the rainbow. It's a good song.
It's all good. Hashtag say. Tail.
Council.
Tail.
Tail. Anyway, I feel like me and Rodney, like, we had this conversation. I think it was yesterday,
Okay.
where like a lot of people that we've been working with.
Mm-hmm.
Can't.
I'm sorry. It's just, you know.
Check out J-Dog on
Kenny-
IG.
Kenny pointed at the wrong camera. Have you die? I'm sorry.
Well,
He's
you
all
know,
pointing
what,
over
what,
here.
what do you say about the old and basic? Okay, like, when I want.
pointed at
Okay,
the TV, huh?
so let me tell you. Okay, so we're gonna get back to LINDS, but when I started, dude, I was like, okay, babe, like, what do we need to do to get on fucking YouTube? She said, well, first we need videos. I was like, okay, so I drug out this old like 2000 Sony camcorder.
That's right.
Took it over to Best Buy and said, hey, like, I need to upgrade this. They said, wow, that's ancient. We don't even do that. Like, that's old and basic. So anyways, so yeah, that's enough of that.
I'm sorry, my boss
So-
texted me.
No, you're good. You're good. So basically, like, my venture into YouTube was trying to pull out some archaic stuff, and then she was like, babe, just use your
Like,
camera.
you're better off with your phone.
Like, yeah, you're better off with your phone.
Your flip phone? No, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding.
Oh,
I
so
couldn't say-
those dudes, huh?
Yeah. No, for the record,
Sidekick.
I had a Crazer, okay, Motorola Crazer. I don't know how cool that is, but
Motorola
I thought it
Razr?
was. I thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
The Razor?
The Razor.
Nice.
But I was like the next level Crazer,
Okay.
like with a K.
Still had a
That's
BlackBerry,
pretty
huh?
savage.
Yeah. Well, it has to be. And LINDS, you're pretty savage to be on here. So going back to yes, I love it, dude. It's testosterone, it's estrogen, it's like estrogen and testosterone. It's like extraterrestrial. It's like ET.
I gotta go. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, you never know what's in store when you come to the Savage Council.
No, yeah, I'm with it.
So, like, when you were talking with Rodney and you were like, hey, and Rodney's pretty new to you, right? He's your manager. Shout out to Rodney.
Shout out Rodster.
Let's try that again.
Shout out to Rodney's cats.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not going to say Rodster because there's only one true Rodster to me, and that's Rod Stewart.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know who Rod Stewart is, right?
Yeah.
Maggie May.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you think I'm
Yeah,
sexy.
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
You're 24.
Almost.
Oh, almost.
Almost
Okay.
24, yeah.
So you're talking to Rodney. Rodney is helping you get very good coverage.
Yeah.
Fresno.
You got the connects. We be hacking.
Yeah.
Hack. Shout out hack. Hashtag hack.
Okay. Is that
It's
like
just-
coughing or like
No,
what
like hack. Like we're hacking into the system. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I
it's,
love
it's,
it.
It's just all about like that's kind of what we say to each other when we're like hyping each other up. We're like, we're hacking. You know, like
hashtag hacking?
Hashtag hacking. we do like certain like things. I'll like text them and I'll be like, don't be slacking, keep on hacking or something.
Oh
stupid.
wow, I love that. I love that. Don't
Kinda
be
keeps us,
average,
you know-
be savage.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny
I got
because
that.
so Say is my album, right?
Okay.
So my song Say,
Okay.
there's this-
Hashtag say.
did my second verse, I literally say, once again a savage, you're not the average. I literally say that in my second verse. So that's like really weird, you know.
Dude, I had
you
like
said that.
palpitations right there.
Wow,
Call
me too.
911.
No.
I need to take some nitroglycerin. This old man can't
Need a
handle all
patch.
this young
Need a
singing.
patch.
This, yeah.
Transdermal.
Wow. Yeah.
Check me out on Spotify.
Spotify. Where are you at?
Visalite. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I'm on Tidal. I'm on like
That's a new
all
one.
of this Amazon, Pandora.
Deezer.
Okay.
I'm like actually on like a lot of streaming platforms. I use like a certain distribution company that kind of like puts my stuff everywhere. So
Okay.
I'll like, you know, do all the credits and everything like through the distribution, and then it just like does it for me.
Okay.
So kind of like puts it out there, and I like link all my accounts together.
So circling back to what the future plans for LINDS is.
Oh wow.
What do you guys have?
Okay, so like we were talking about before, like me and Rodney were talking about yesterday, how, you know, we're striving to work with all these people that are around us, you know, and some people are just kind of like, you know, they don't really see the vision, which is fine because me and Rodney have the vision, you know what I mean? Or I have the vision or he has the vision, whatever. So it takes a lot of like, I don't know, kind of like energy to get people like on the same page and like, you know, for people to see what I'm trying to go for. But I feel like a lot of people go towards having an end goal. But, like, with this, like, there is no goal. There is no end goal. You know, it's not like, I want to get a Grammy. You know, it's like, I want to blah, blah, blah. Of course, there's things that I want to do.
Sure.
There's places I want to perform. But, like, there can't be a goal.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't have an end goal. I'm like, I'm going to start here and finish here. You know? No, I'm going to just live the journey. Like, that's all it is. You gotta just take the journey, man.
Wow.
Everything's an adventure. You can't.
Yeah, like living
line.
the journey. So I was gonna ask you right there before you said that, and I guess you just answered that. Instant gratification, delayed gratification.
You caught me with that one. What?
Yeah. So what you were saying is that you're living the journey. Okay.
So shout out Tech 9. It's not about the destination, it's the journey. Like, you know.
I don't think Tech 9 said that. I think
it's
Buddha said
just
that.
well, yeah,
I'm
but
sure it's a lyric.
It's a lyric that I really much, you know, love.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, Tech 9 technically didn't say it, but it's in his song.
Yeah.
But shout out Tech 9 because I love Tech
Gotcha.
9.
So like the traps of fame, fortune, everything that we talk about the show. Like if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Check out our older videos. But we have gone into this in length about instant gratification or delayed gratification. Doing something for fame and fortune and ego versus I'm doing it because I love it and I'm going to continue to do it. I'm just doing me and this is me and I'll do it for as long as I can. That's what the Savage Council is doing. But as far as you, I picked up on that. Like, that's what you're going to be doing anyways until you can't do it no more.
Well, think of it this way. Like, if you're doing something to, like, let's say, you know, just point an example. If you're doing something, if I'm doing music to, like, get famous or, like, buy a car or, like, buy my dream house, like, what is that going to do for me besides have something, like, physically?
I don't know.
You know, like what is
I'm
that?
I'm not famous. I can't sing. Like dude.
But like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm trying to do it for money. There's a lot of artists out there that are just doing it for the shine and do it for the whatever. You know.
But is there shine in it though?
Well, like, I mean, what does that say about you? You know what I mean? Like, why do you want that? Why? Why? It'd be nice to have those things. I'm not saying I don't want any of it. You know what I mean? But like, as far as like doing music and saying like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to buy a car or I'm going to do this. It's like, what is that going to do for you in the long run? Like you're going to have something like that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to sound cliche, but like material stuff is just material stuff, you know, like you're going to be in your body for the rest of your life. Like you better figure out what it is that you like and you enjoy because, you know, death is inevitable. So you better just do what you want within yourself.
Wow, that's LINDS dropping some truth bombs.
Facts.
Wow, that's facts. Real talk right there. And that's what we love on the Savage Council, real talk. But
#Savage.
I know that you have probably, being a female, experienced all those things. Because as a female, people might be like, hey, you're just doing this to get attention. Oh,
right.
You like the guy attention, you like the girl attention. Hey, come on. 2019, come on. Like, you know, it is what it is. But like the attention, like you said, but I'm picking up like what you're saying is like you are not doing it for those things. If those things come along, great, but you're still going to try to stay true and authentic to what you've been doing, how you've been doing it since you were 13, since you wrote that first song, sang it at your friend's mother's funeral, which is like sad. I mean, you know, such a tragic thing to happen so young, but at the same time, like that is when it solidified what you were and who you were going to be?
I would probably say so. I think that would probably, yeah. It's like why I mean, I sing all the time. Like singing just makes me feel good. Like I'll sing by myself all of the time. You know, and people are like, oh, you're just singing to show off. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm singing because I like to do it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to like someone, I'm going to draw because I like to draw.
Yeah.
I'm not going to draw something to like sell it. I'm just going to draw because I want to draw.
Sell it or
You
get
know,
attention.
I'm going to sing because I want to
likes
sing. I'm
or-
not singing
yeah.
to sell it, you know?
So on that point, recently you have been doing high school tours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know for Sean that signed with Nas, like he did the same thing, kind of like, and not saying that you're following in his footsteps, but you have told me once that you inspire to be inspired. You are inspired to inspire other people.
I aspire to inspire.
Like that. Fuck. Flip
My
on words,
aspiration
like-
is to inspire.
So your aspiration in life is to inspire other people. And I can totally feel that. Like currently you're doing high school tours. You'll be at, well, by the time this comes out, and I apologize for the post-production, but she'll have already done a show over at El Diamante High School in Visalia, California. Shout outs to LDL, you know, even though I don't know any of you guys.
I
but
went
my
to- I
my
went to
girlfriend
LD.
went there.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a Mount Whitney. Like,
Nice.
You know.
We were trying to get in with Mount Whitney.
Yeah,
But we're just gonna hit him.
I was there, he went there.
We're gonna hit him hard next
That's
year.
what I was saying. They're snobs, bro.
We're gonna hit him hard next year.
But you know what? I say break down all the barriers, and the one thing I liked about you, like when you were saying that you were listening to people create their music, you didn't want to be a consumer. You wanted to be a producer of that music, and that's what we're striving to do here. Is to kind of like not be a consumer, but bring all this good stuff that's in Visalia out to everybody. So I would say break down all the barriers, go for whatever you can, and just go for it. Like what, you know, a wild shot is a wild shot, but damn, it's nice to hear the gun go off.
True.
So I had a question regarding what you said earlier about you not having an end goal. You said that, you know, materialistic things as in cars, houses, money, and
Grills,
whatnot.
dude. Don't forget the grills.
Oh, the grills and whatnot.
Chains.
You had mentioned that those are not really in your interest as of how far you go in your career. So my question is, where's your motivation? Like, what is going to motivate, or what is your motivation for you to get further in your career?
You, people. People motivate me. I think that, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm given an opportunity to, like, have a platform and have things to say to other people. And, like, you know, it's a work in progress. Like, I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I can, you know, for me, I've always, like, kind of been around certain, like, different friend groups. Like, I have a lot of different, like, types of friends, you know what I mean? I have, like, emo friends, or I have, like, you know, gangster friends, or whatever. I'm really good at hopping around, so it's like, okay, I feel like I have, you know, a good opportunity to kind of, like, reach out to a lot of different kind of people, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just, like, speak some realness, I guess, like, because, I mean, I'm gonna say what I want to say, you know? And for a long time I felt kind of, like, misunderstood, and I couldn't really say what I was wanting to. But now that I kind of, you know, I'm beginning to have this opportunity to share my story and share, like, what's real to me, like, maybe someone will take that and maybe it'll become real to them too, you know, if it's something that's positive that'll, like, help them in their life. Like, there's people that struggle with, like, suicide and stuff like that. Like, I want to be able to, like, say something that may change their mind, you know what I mean? Like, straight up, I want to do it for people. Like, I do it because I love it, I do it because I believe in God, and I do it to reach other people, you know. So that's probably what motivates me to do that.
So you hope your music touches people that, like, need it? Like, it finds it if your music finds the right people? Is that what you're kinda saying?
Yeah. I think that there's
The
a
people that
place,
need it.
right? And I think that there's a place for, like, all types of music. You know what I mean? Like, I'll listen to music that everyone's like, "Who's that? I've never heard that before." I'm like, right? Like, I found it, and that, you know, I
Exactly.
connect to it. You know,
Yeah.
and it's not that it's, like, popular music, but I'm like, wow, I found a song that really, like, means something to me. Like, that's cool if I'm that person to someone else. Like, that's so freaking
Exactly.
cool, dude. Like, there was this one chick, for example. I'm not trying to, like, talk a lot, but there's this one chick, for example, that found me on Instagram, and she was like, "Oh my God, I listened to your album. Like, you know, I listened to this song, listened to words, and, you know, it really, like, inspired me. Like, I love you, you know." And she came to my show when I opened for Tyler Carter, and she was, like, outside the door, and I was, like, inside with Tyler, and we were, like, doing sound check or whatever. And I, like, walked outside to get something, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's you!" You know, we actually talk all the time. Like, we talk all the time through Instagram. Like, I talk to people that, like, you know, listen to my music, because I'm just like, dude, like, every time that I hear that, it's so weird. Like, it's so
Yeah.
cool though, because it's like, I guess, yeah, I intended, you know, to have my music out there. I keep hitting this stupid cup.
It's okay.
Anyway, but I intend for people to listen to my music, but it's like really real when people like actually do respond, because I feel like for a long time I was like doing music, but people weren't like really paying attention to it. But it's also because I wasn't really putting myself out there. So like, you know, now, you know, that I have music like out for people to listen to, they're like, oh my God, you know, and it's like, it's so cool. It's such a cool feeling. It's like really, really, really humbling.
Not
Like,
to put you on the spot, do you know who that person is? Can we give him a shout out? Would you like to put it on right here?
yeah, can I just say what her handle is? I'm gonna like
Yes.
just shout out her handle, dude.
Yes, of course.
She's really sweet, and she like came to my show.
Because that's
She's just
you know, if you just reach one person, like that, to me, that's like, hey, you did your job.
Lexi. This is for you.
Ooh, shout out Lexi.
TWI.LEX. That is her Instagram
All right,
handle.
don't be douchebags. Say shout out to Lexi's.
Yeah, shout out to Lexi. Shout out Lex.
Like,
Just- yeah.
So the female energy, the male energy in here, like, you know, it's kind of like one of those things, but don't be insensitive. Shout out to Lexi, man.
Damn, no.
Well, Linds, I don't think you're going anywhere. I don't think you're going anywhere. I think you and your production crew and your management have like we're going to be hearing big things. Savage Council, thanks you for being on here.
Yeah, dude, thank you for having
giving
me.
us the time. Hopefully it's not the last one. We definitely want to check in
This
on
was
you.
it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the one and only.
No, I'll definitely be
And then
back.
she blew up, got a Grammy, and then she got all those cars and grills
Yeah.
and houses.
That's what I
Got
want.
the money, the hose, and the clothes, huh?
Hose and clothes.
I already got the hose and the clothes. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. But yeah.
Just kidding, I'm wearing
a.
it's
You
from
want
Marshalls,
to
I think.
take us out, bro? You want to take us out? Thanks to Real Mix by Aaron. Or
Thanks for having me.
thanks to Aaron, the guy behind.
By the
our
way,
technical
Aaron,
production.
I met Aaron really quickly because he had remixed one of my songs, "Words," on my album. And I don't think that, I think I knew of you before that, but I saw that you actually like.
Fucking 4 hours in, now you tell me.
Sorry, I know, dude, I know.
That's how we roll at 7.
But
all day long.
it was really tight. So like now it's cool like being here in the room with them because I'm like, yo, like,
Yeah, pop out from the internet.
So
from our
Aaron,
cell phones- from their cell phones to the real life.
yeah,
so Aaron remixed one of your songs for you.
he did.
Okay, and he produced it, or because I'm still kind of fuzzy about all that. Like, I'm just a simple podcaster, so I don't know anything about production or remixes or whatever. Like, what does remix mean?
I don't. You explain it. Yeah.
Just found it and just chopped up the song,
Okay,
threw some drums on it, made it into a hip hop kind of beat, and it was
cool,
really cool. So we got some stuff coming for it.
nice.
Yeah, we're gonna
nice.
work together.
Well, you heard it first exclusively on Savage Council, Linds, and Real Mix
Aaron.
by
No, I'm just
Aaron.
kidding.
Aaron.
Real Mix by Aaron. Really mixed or remixed or real mix?
Whatever you want, man.
God damn you! Whoever took his handle.
Thank you guys for coming and watching the Savage Council. We hope you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below on what you want to see and who you want to see on the Savage Council. Thank you and stay savage.